Central California. This is ABC30 Action News, AM Live.
New this morning at 6 a.m., investigators in San Francisco have been looking for the cause of a deadly fire. Crews spent the overnight hours looking for clues inside of a three-story building after the flames broke out last night in the Mission District. Several people had to be rescued. One person was killed. At least half a dozen others are being treated for burns and smoke in the building houses several businesses as well as apartments.
And happening now, we are on fog watch again this morning with thick fog blanketing the valley, and today it may be even more widespread. Here's a live look from our downtown Fresno Skycam in HD. You can't really see anything because the fog is causing some major traffic problems right now on the roads and at Fresno Yosemite International Airport. All flights, we've been told, have been grounded because visibility is now down to less than 600 feet.
All right, let's get things over to Action News meteorologist Shelby Latino with our exclusive fog tracker. Shelby.
Thanks, Jason. And Margot, we are watching some very dense fog out there this morning, worse than yesterday. Even though we had dense fog yesterday, it's looking a little bit thicker this morning. So let's take a look at Fog Tracker and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Near zero visibility in Hanford, Visalia, Lemoore, and Porterville. We're down to an eighth of a mile in Fresno. And right now, best on the map is the North Valley. That's Merced and Madera at only a quarter of a mile visibility. So still very dense there. We're getting a lot of foggy day schedules rolling into the Action Newsroom. We've got them running at the bottom of your screen. We also have them on ABC30.com. But for the drop-off, the kids who are going to school on time today, they can expect some dense fog out there by recess hours. Still seeing that fog and haze sticking around. Dense fog advisory going to be lasting through around noon today. And then we see 60 degrees for your high temperature this afternoon. Still seeing mostly cloudy skies. I mentioned that dense fog advisory again lasting through noon. Locally, we're seeing those visibilities dropping to less than 500 feet. Margot?
Shelby, thank you. And happening now in Fall River, Massachusetts, opening statements are getting underway this morning in the murder trial of former NFL tight end Aaron Hernandez. It comes as his former team, the New England Patriots, gears up for the Super Bowl in Arizona. Meantime, Hernandez is accused of orchestrating the murder of a semi-pro football player back in 2013. Reporter Ryan Nobles shows us what to expect during this morning's opening statements.
The New England Patriots fired Aaron Hernandez just hours after he was let out of his home in handcuffs in June of 2013. Prosecutors charged him with killing 27-year-old Olden Lloyd, a semi-pro football player. Lloyd was found dead in an industrial park, shot 7 times. Among the evidence, surveillance videos that show the victim getting into a car with Hernandez and co-defendants Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz. Video of that same car driving into the industrial park, and later, surveillance video showing Hernandez back home less than a mile from where Lloyd's body was found, holding what prosecutors allege is the murder weapon.
If the jury believes that Aaron Hernandez was with Olden Lloyd right before Olden Lloyd was killed, it's not a big leap to conclude Aaron Hernandez was involved in the murder of Olden Lloyd.
Defense attorneys won some pretrial motions. The judge will block any mention that Hernandez was indicted for 2 other murders in Boston. And the jury won't hear about a text message the victim sent his sister just minutes before he was killed, saying, quote, "You saw who I'm with. NFL, just so you know." In Fall River, Massachusetts, I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
Also new this morning, the man accused in a deadly police shooting in Pennsylvania will be in court today. Eric Frayne is expected to enter a not guilty plea later this morning. The survivalist is accused of shooting 2 officers during an ambush outside of a police station back in September. One of the officers died. Now, for the next 48 days, investigators say Frayne hid in the forest just out of reach of officers. Prosecutors will seek the death penalty in the case.
A Fresno woman whose small children were seriously hurt in a fire is now waking up in the Fresno County Jail this morning. Police say Jamila Brown left her children alone and then flames broke out inside their Southwest Fresno apartment. Video of firefighters rescuing the 1-, 3-, and 4-year-olds is now gaining national attention. Investigators say the 19-year-old mother first told them the kids were left with an adult. The children are in critical condition, but expected to recover.
Some local students are asking for your donations today to help people impacted by fires. The children at Reagan Educational Center in Clovis started collecting items yesterday to give the victims of an apartment fire last Tuesday. 4 units were destroyed at the Woodbridge apartment complex, leaving some of the kids who lived there with nothing to wear to school. The school's principal says other students immediately took action to help their classmates. They started what is now being called the Wolf Rack Clothes Drive.
It makes me feel real good. I mean, when the type of kids we have here are just very giving, very loving, and it is. You know, when you get comfort is in situations like this. If you can get any, it's in moments like this when you walk in. I think one of our teachers said that when you walked in, you said, "Wow, it's pretty amazing."
After they help the families impacted in the fire, the Wolf Rack will open to anyone in need. If you'd like to donate, bring your things to the campus parking lot near Gettysburg and DeWolf in Clovis between the hours of 3 and 7 this afternoon.
New this morning, the Fresno City Council could decide today whether to sell a giant stage that was hardly ever used at Chichancy Park. The city bought the stage 13 years ago for $330,000, but has only used it a handful of times for concerts at the downtown stadium. The city apparently wants to sell the stage for just $25,000 to a company that would use it at the Cal Expo in Sacramento. Officials say if the sale goes through, the $25,000 would be used for maintenance at the Chichancy Park.
All right, right now it is 6:06. The deadline given by ISIS terrorists who are now threatening to put 2 hostages to death. We're live with new details on the group's demands.
But first, a new video from a heated city council meeting in St. Louis. What led to a scuffle in the crowd involving police officers and the public?
But before we go, here's a live look outside at the North Valley from our exclusive Merced Skycam in HD. You can see fog still out there in the distance. Shub Latino is straight ahead with everything you need to know.
This is ABC30 Action News AM Live with Margot Kim, Jason Oliveira, and meteorologist Shelby Latino with the Storm Warn 30 forecast.
All right, welcome back. It's now 6:10. Thank you for waking up with us this morning, and be careful out there. Give yourself extra time because it is very dense outside.
Yeah, and if you have a flight, all of the flights have been grounded at Fresno Yosemite International, so make sure that you check in with your airline if you do have a flight out this morning. School delays running across the bottom of the screen. We've got dense fog out there this morning, and it's worse than yesterday, so keep that in mind as you're heading out on the roads. We are seeing visibilities drop. Weather. Now let's get a check on traffic. We do have some foggy roads out there. CHP Officer Kirk Arnold has the latest on them for us. Kirk, any pacing going on out there?
Yes, Shelby, definitely CHP units are pacing in Merced County. Looks like from Atwater north to the Merced-Stanislaus County line, they're advising about 200 to 500 feet of visibility. Definitely want to avoid that area if at all possible. If not, and you are behind the pace car, please don't pass the pace car. That CHP officer is going at the safe speed, so stay behind him. We do have a traffic collision need to report here in the Fresno area. Stay about 168. Looks like it's going to be eastbound 168 at Shields. Solo vehicle up the embankment. Doesn't appear to be blocking the roadway, but you may have a little bit of slow-moving traffic associated with that, so please use caution through that area. Take a look outside now at our live camera in Fresno, 99 and Clinton. As you can see, traffic is moving at the limit there. Visibility not a problem so far this morning here in the Fresno area. Visibility above 500 feet. So again, we're going to keep an eye on that for you all morning long. I'm Officer Arnold with the California Highway Patrol. Remind you folks, please buckle up. Now let's back to the studio.
Kirk, thank you.
All right, new this morning, new video into the Action Newsroom from overnight of a city council meeting in St. Louis that turned into a shoving match.
Members of the public got into a scuffle with officers during a heated discussion about a citizen police oversight committee. Reporter Andrew Spencer has the new caught-on-camera video of the exact moment when the situation got out of control.
A city council meeting disintegrated into a shoving match in St. Louis. Council members held the public meeting to discuss a bill which would create a civilian board to oversee police work. About an hour into the meeting, things got heated when Jeff Rorda, the business manager of the city's police union, took issue with members of the crowd interrupting speakers. In a video posted online, you can hear the heckling begin as soon as a police officer is introduced.
Another cop with another prepared statement from Rorda.
I'm a member of the St. Louis Police Officer Association and appear here tonight on my personal capacity and on my own time. You have heard from speakers before me who believe this legislation is terrible. I agree.
Pardon.
Come on, Mr. Chairman, how about some order here, huh?
St. Louis Alderman Terry Kennedy stops him there.
First of all, you do not tell me my functioning disability.
Rorta steps away from his chair, and that's where things get out of hand.
Mr. Waddle jumps up, but he knocks a lady to the side. Instead of telling her, ma'am, excuse me, he get into pushing and shoving with the woman.
This video, recorded by a member of the crowd with his cell phone and posted online, gives a better angle, but it's still not clear exactly what happens, who jostles whom, or who shoves first. The rest is chaos. Andrew Spencer, Action News, AM Live.
All right, Action News time now, 6:15. Why we could get a clearer picture today of the expanding California drought.
But first, the slip and fall that's gone viral. Oh, details on this adorable dog that's taken the internet by storm. Take a look at this video that's gone viral. Oh, look at this dog slipping and sliding on the ice after the recent blizzard in the New England area. The dog trying to run over the patch of ice, just can't get a grip. The video was shot by TJ Parker of his dog Quinn, a 5-month-old Bernese mountain dog in Loon Mountain, New Hampshire. And as you can see, Quinn just slides right across the ice, losing his, trying to get his paws underneath him. So ears flying, adorable. And of course, it's in slow motion, so you can really get a view of it. And of course, it's gone viral.
Of course, just like everything. All right, now it's time for your accurate the forecast. Let's now check in with meteorologist Shelby Latino from the Storm 130 Center. Good morning, Shelby.
Good morning, Jason. We're watching Fog Tracker for you this morning because take a look at the South Valley. Let's look at your weather. Margot and Jason, back to you.
Shelby, thank you. Still to come on Action News, the Shark Tank contestant who could breathe new life into the bankrupt Sky Mall catalog.
Also next, Tiger Woods with a rare miss. Why some believe he hit a shot into the grandstands on purpose.
Uh-oh. New this morning at 6:24, the bankrupt Sky Mall catalog may be rescued by a former contestant on ABC's hit show Shark Tank. Scott Jordan is the CEO of a company that makes a vest for travelers with pockets designed to hold smartphones and other gadgets. Well, Sky Mall sold some of his items, and now he says he plans to make a bid for Sky Mall's assets. He made a lot of money since being on Shark Tank a few years ago. Jordan thinks the in-flight catalog can be reinvented in a new online version. Of course, everybody has thumbed through that catalog.
Of course, and there's always like cool stuff in there. You're always like, how come I never see this in a store? It's always in this magazine.
Might be a good idea. Well, Tiger Woods will be back on the golf course in the Phoenix area in just a few hours.
Yeah, he's getting a whole lot of criticism, though, this morning for this shot on the famous 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale. There you see it. The ball goes straight into the grandstands. This was during yesterday's Pro-Am tournament. There's now a debate whether Tiger did it on purpose because minutes earlier the crowd gave him a negative reaction to his sand shot. Tiger will play in the Waste Management Open at the same course beginning today. It's the first time he's played the tournament in 14 years.
He needs to be careful about that. You know, a ball could knock somebody's teeth out.
Ah, yeah.
Action News time is now 6:25. Coming up in our next half hour, we're live tracking new developments in the ISIS situation and the 2 hostages that are being held by the militants.
Plus, the brand new pictures from Yosemite of a creature that hasn't been seen in the park in almost a century.
And here's a live look from our Hedrick Chevrolet Skycam, and you can see just the glow of some lights. That's it through the fog. All flights are grounded at Yosemite International Airport, and we have almost 3 dozen foggy day schedules at the bottom of your screen on our website and our mobile apps. Your AccuWeather forecast as we remain on Fog Watch coming up. But first, here's a look at this morning's technology news.
On today's Tech Bites, Facebook is doing even better than expected.
ABC30 Action News AM Live starts now with 15 minutes of nonstop news.
At 6:30 this morning, we'll get a clearer picture of the California drought in just a few hours. The numbers in today's snow survey in the Sierra near Lake Tahoe are expected to be way off the mark for this time of year. The last survey a month ago showed the Sierra snowpack was just 27% of normal. The Sierra snowpack provides about 30% of California's water. Hydrologists say they usually have to wear snowshoes to make the trek, but this year they say those snowshoes won't be needed.
Also happening right now, we are tracking some thick valley fog again this morning, and today it's even more widespread as we take a live look now downtown Fresno. It looks pretty dark out there from our HD Skycam. Now, the fog is causing some major problems right now at Fresno Yosemite International. All flights have been grounded because the visibility is down to less than 600 feet.
And this morning, we have live team coverage to keep you safe this morning in those conditions. CHP Officer Kirk Arnold is tracking any problems on that morning drive. But let's start with Action News meteorologist Shelby Latino in our Storm Warn 30 Center with our exclusive fog tracker to get you through the thick of it. Shelby?
That's right, Margot. Some very thick fog, denser than it was yesterday, so that's a good reference point for people as they're heading out the door today. We are seeing some very thick fog out there, near zero visibility all across the South Valley, including Porterville. We're also seeing near zero visibility in Merced right now. Fresno, as we mentioned, at the airport, down below 600 feet, and we're seeing about a quarter of a mile in Madera, and that's really the best on the map right now. Foggy day, school delays. Take a look at our map here where we've got them all popped up for you. They continue to roll into the Action Newsroom, so we've got them updated, rolling at the bottom of your screen and also on our website. It's looking like we're going to continue to see these rolling in as that fog continues to get a little bit thicker towards sunrise. So dense fog advisory in effect through noon today, and the entire valley falls into this dense fog advisory, and it's looking like those visibilities have dropped below a quarter of a mile valley-wide, locally dropping below 500 feet. Radar showing that we're not seeing any rain out there. A few showers to our south and to our east. Looks like the Sierra could get some sprinkles later on this afternoon, but the valley will stay dry today. Temperatures are in the 40s, 40 right now in Lemoore, but we're at 48 in Fresno. Of course, the clouds helping to trap in some of that heat for us. Today's planner shows that we won't see much change in the cloud cover. It's going to be a pretty hazy and thick clouds all across the board today, but by the time we get to 3 p.m., we may see a peak or two of sunshine, and we'll get that temperature up to 60 degrees for your high today. That's a look at your weather. Let's get a check on those roads. CHP Officer Kirk Arnold has a look at the traffic because of the foggy conditions this morning. Kirk?
Good morning, Shelby, and good morning, folks. That is correct. We do have some foggy conditions out there. CHP units are currently pacing right now in Merced County. We'll go live traffic tracker to show you exactly where this is. It's going to start at the city of Atwater and work north to the Merced-Stanislaus County line. Units are reporting fog visibilities ranging anywhere from 200 to 500 feet visibility in that area, so definitely use caution. Biggest and best suggestion is if you don't have to drive in the fog today, then stay home until it completely dissipates. Do have a traffic collision to let you know about. We talked about it a little bit earlier. State Route 59 at Mission Avenue, just south of Merced. This is an overturned milk tanker truck versus a passenger vehicle. Looks like southbound lanes are going to be closed, and this is going to be to get that tanker uprighted. I'm Officer Arnold with the California Highway Patrol. Remind you folks, please buckle up. Now let's back to the studio.
Kirk, thanks for that update. We are tracking breaking news now in Mexico City. Officials say a gas tanker truck has exploded outside a maternity and children's hospital, collapsing part of the facility. Mexico City's mayor says at least 54 people are injured. 22 of the victims are children. So far, there are no reports of any deaths. But stay with Action News and ABC30.com for the latest on this breaking story.
Also happening right now, time is running out before the deadline in the latest case of international hostage threats. Japan and Jordan are currently working on a trade with ISIS. ISIS wants the release of a woman convicted in an incident back in 2005 in exchange for the release of a captured Jordanian Air Force pilot and a Japanese journalist. ABC's Susan Solney is live with what the group is demanding this morning. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Jason. Last-minute negotiations are underway despite objections from the Obama administration.
Hanging in the balance this morning, the life of this TV correspondent and this Jordanian pilot. A new video released by ISIS shows Japanese journalist Kenji Goto shackled, forced to read his own death sentence. He's holding a photo of the Jordanian pilot.
I only have 24 hours left to live, and the pilot has even less.
Despite U.S. opposition, two countries, Japan and Jordan, are maneuvering with the terror group to spare the lives of the hostages. In exchange for the pair, ISIS says it wants failed suicide bomber Sajida al-Rishawi set free. She's an Iraqi woman on death row in Jordan. The authorities say she was a determined killer, taking part in a 2005 attack in which 60 people were killed, many of them attending a Muslim wedding.
What ISIS wants is for people to treat them like a state. It's in Jordan's interest not to treat them like a state.
ISIS has set a new deadline today of sunset in Iraq, and the clock is ticking. The King of Jordan has already given in to the demands for a prisoner swap.
This is a diplomatic victory, a propaganda victory for ISIS.
Meanwhile, in France, the government has mounted the first real counterstrike in the information war against ISIS. Overnight, they released this video designed to steer young people away from militant radical groups. It shows conflict and execution described as, quote, hell on earth. So far, ISIS has been winning the propaganda war. Stopping that is a critical challenge for Washington and the West. Reporting live in Washington, Susan Saltney, Action News AM Live. Margot?
Susan, thank you. More breaking news now in northeast Fresno. Firefighters are at the scene of an early morning fire at a home in the area of Gettysburg and Millbrook. Let's get to Action News reporter Amanda Venegas, who's just arrived on the scene with new details. Amanda?
Margot and Jason, we have learned that 3 people have been injured in this house fire in northeast Fresno. We just got on scene. There is a large number of firefighters here. For the latest now, we're going to turn to Battalion Chief Chuck Tobias. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what happened.
Well, at 5:30 this morning, the fire department received a request to respond to a house fire. When we got here, we had heavy smoke coming out of the garage as well as the front door and under the eaves of the house. We had a well-involved attic fire along with one of the bedrooms where we think the fire has started. They're still investigating that. We also had fire victims that were on scene, one with burns and smoke inhalation. 2 additional home residents had smoke inhalation as well.
Pretty scary, and those people are being treated. Are they being taken to a local hospital?
Yeah, the most severe, the one with the burns, was transported to the regional medical center. The other 2 are released at scene. They're doing fine.
Any challenges this morning in fighting this fire? I know there are some foggy conditions out here.
Well, always responding in the fog is going to be a bit of a challenge. There was no traffic, but visibility was reduced. Primarily, the fire went very well. The crews did an excellent job on preventing the fire from extending beyond the house of origin and actually keeping it in the area that was already burning. So they did a great job and also dealing with the victims.
Yeah, and at this time, you guys have a large number of staff out here that rushed to the scene to help this family, to help the people inside. How long do you expect to be out here?
Well, we'll be out here a little bit after 8 o'clock. We ended up with 5 engine companies, one of them from Clovis, along with 2 ladder trucks, 23 fire personnel. And we brought the fire under control in 30 minutes.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you guys will probably be out here for some time, taking a look at the house. Any last thoughts?
Well, we'd like to remind the public to be very safe out there. I mean, these conditions to make things worse, it gets a little bit cold. Watch their heating devices. Make sure they've got their smoke detector working. Probably be the best information to pass to them for today.
All right, thanks so much, Battalion Chief Tobias. Once again, we're live here in northeast Fresno. In this area, a Bond and Donner has been shut down while numerous fire crews work on this fire. They've been able to put it out, but once again, they said 3 people were injured, smoke inhalation, and one of those people had burn injuries. Now, we'll stay with this story throughout the morning for the latest. Back to you guys in the studio.
Right, Amanda, thank you. A North Valley teacher is facing charges this morning accused of sexually abusing teenage boys at juvenile hall. Merced County deputies say 64-year-old Mary Louise Hawks was having an inappropriate relationship with 2 17-year-old inmates at Iris Garrett Juvenile Justice Complex. Authorities learned of the relationships after finding notes she was sending to them. Investigators say Hawks was also smuggling cell phones into the jail and putting money in her victims' commissary accounts. The Merced County Office of Education confirms Hawks taught at Los Banos Valley Community School until staff members were alerted of the accusations.
As soon as we heard about allegations of inappropriate action, we stepped forward, took her out of the classroom, and fully cooperated with the sheriff's office.
Officials say Hawks passed a background check before she was hired. Investigators believe there could be other victims. Hawks has since been placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
A measles patient who recently visited the Fresno area may have potentially spread the virus to some people here in the valley. Officials say the man is in his 40s. He was feeling sick when he came to visit relatives last week. They say he went to the labor and delivery floor at Community Regional Medical Center in downtown Fresno twice. The first time happened on January 22nd, the other time January 25th. Officials say the man also went to the Winco on Kings Canyon, then 2 stores at Fashion Fair Mall also on January 25th.
There's going to be no way for facilities to know the customers that came through during those times. Obviously, we'll be looking at their staff, and they will know who on their staff was there at that time, and we'll be checking their immunizations and making sure they understand what symptoms to look for.
The health department says the measles patient is not from the Fresno area and did not contract the virus here. He's currently back in his hometown, but officials won't say where that is. It's unclear if the patient is linked to the current measles outbreak that started at Disney parks in Anaheim last month.
A search is underway this morning for a man suspected of stealing thousands of dollars in rent money. Police say 32-year-old Norberto Lopez broke into the rent payment box at the Tanninger Springs Apartments in southeast Fresno. This is surveillance video of the crime. Authorities say after the break-in, Lopez's girlfriend helped him alter the money orders and checks so they could be cashed. Lopez's girlfriend was arrested last week, but police have yet to find Lopez. Anyone with information on the theft is asked to contact authorities.
Happening right now, we are tracking fog issues from Fresno Yosemite International Airport. Let's take a live look now at that area, and as you can tell, visibility very low this morning. All flights have been grounded because the visibility is less than 600 feet. Flights will be allowed to take off once the conditions begin to clear up. Let's now check in with meteorologist Shelby Latino and our exclusive fog tracker. Shelby.
Thanks, Jason. And it could be a while before things clear up. We are approaching sunrise, and that's when things rain in the forecast for now. That's a look at your weather. Margot and Jason, back to you.
Shelby, thank you. We have some new pictures to share with you this morning from Yosemite. Researchers are thrilled after getting 2 pictures of a rare red fox. It's the first time this type of animal has been spotted in the park in almost 100 years. Where has he been hiding?
I don't know. Maybe he's hanging out with Bigfoot or something.
He looks good for being 100 years old. The researchers just received the game cameras. They were captured on earlier this week, deep in the back country. Experts say the red fox is one of the most rare and elusive animals in the Sierra, and they hope the new pictures will lead to more research on the animal.
All right. Now it is 6:44. Coming up next year on AM Live, how much more your home could be worth if you live near a Starbucks.
Plus 2 days of triple-digit losses for Wall Street, and it looks like that sad trend continues. We'll get the latest numbers for you in a live report from New York City.
This is ABC30 Action News AM Live with Margot Kim, Jason Oliveira, and meteorologist Shelby Latino with the Storm Warn 30 forecast.
In business news now at 6:47, stocks have taken a beating for the last 2 days.
Yeah, Maribel Aber now joining us from the NASDAQ market site in New York. What are we looking like this morning, Maribel?
Hey, good morning, Jason and Margot. Well, we were starting a little bit in the green, where it looks like we're reversing right now. Investors were hoping to see if stocks can rebound after that sharp sell-off yesterday, but down about 26 points so far. NASDAQ down 34, the S&P down 9. Well, Starbucks may now know the next hot neighborhood before anyone else does. There's a study that found that real estate property near a Starbucks soared 96% in value between 1997 and last year. The average American home appreciated by 65%. The study was done by the website Quartz using real estate data from Zillow. And if you're looking to buy a big screen TV, now is the time. After the holiday season, Super Bowl week is actually the biggest TV purchasing time of the year. The retailers are looking to capitalize. Amazon is knocking off 35% from many of its big screen TVs, and Walmart has also slashed some prices as well. Jason and Margot, any reason for a new TV?
All right.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks, Maribel.
All right, time now for traffic and weather together. Shelby Latino is tracking it all, including that dense fog outside. Good morning, Shelby.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Margot. We've been tracking this fog for you all morning, and take a look. Let's look at your weather. Now let's get a check on traffic. Here's CHP Officer Kirk Arnold with a look at those foggy roads for us. Kirk?
Well, good morning, Shelby, and good morning, folks. Looking at that commute for you, we do have some foggy conditions out there. Worst of it so far this morning has been in Merced County. CHP units pacing currently State Route 99 from Atwater north to the Merced-Stanislaus County line. You want to be careful through there. Visibility about 200 to 500 feet, so dense fog for sure. We also have a traffic collision in Merced County, State Route 59 at Mission Avenue. Overturned milk tanker truck versus a passenger vehicle. Looks like the southbound lane is closed. Unknown on the duration of that particular closure at this point. They have to upright that milk tanker truck. So we'll keep you posted on that throughout the rest of the commute. We also have a traffic collision just north of Dinuba in Tulare County, Avenue 424 at Road 72, being reported as a vehicle versus a train. So you definitely want to avoid that area. You can expect some delays through there as well. I'm Officer Arnold with the California Highway Patrol. Remind you, please don't drink and drive. Now it's back to the studio.
Kirk, thank you. Action News time is now 6:51, and next on AM Live, we continue to track breaking news.
Yeah, details on a house fire in northeast Fresno that has injured 3 people. We'll have a live report straight ahead. It's a different. All right, welcome back here. It's now 6:54. We have breaking news. We continue to track that breaking news out of Central Fresno this morning. Several people have been injured in an early morning house fire.
The scene is in the area of Gettysburg and Millbrook. Action News reporter Amanda Venegas is live at the scene with the latest details. Amanda?
Margo and Jason, we've learned 3 people were injured. They're suffering from smoke inhalation, and one of the people had burn injuries. Take a look behind me. Fresno firefighters on the scene right now going through this house. I'm told it started in the back. Neighbors said they didn't really see anything in these foggy conditions, but then they could smell something burning. Some of them rushed in with hoses to try to put out the fire. Several fire crews arrived on scene, tried to put it out, tried to help those 3 people who are suffering from smoke inhalation and also burn injuries. At this time, they're still investigating exactly what sparked this fire, but they say at this time they're concerned about those residents, and they'll continue to investigate this fire throughout the morning. Back to you in the studio.
Amanda, thank you. And our other top story this morning, the dense fog blanketing Central California. Here's a live look at Fresno Yosemite International Airport, where there is a ground stop now, and although that now has recently been lifted. Flights were grounded earlier this morning, but officials say the visibility has improved enough to let planes take off once again, but still be sure to check with your airline before you make it out to the airport this morning.
And we also got nearly 50 Foggy Day school schedules. They're all at the bottom of your screen, and of course our mobile apps at ABC30.com. They continue to roll in by the minute.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of them this morning, and for good reason. There's very dense fog out there, certainly impacting commutes this morning. Down to near zero almost across the valley, with the exception of Fresno. They're at 1/8 of a mile. So best on the map right now is 1/8 of a mile visibility. Very dense fog out there this morning, and we're expecting some fog. Maybe not as dense as today, but we are expecting to see fog for the next 7 days as we go throughout the weekend and gear up for Super Bowl Sunday. Expect the haze and the cloudiness and the fog to continue, but no rain in the near forecast. The good news is the temperatures look to remain mild. We're looking at upper 50s, low 60s for highs.
All right. Thanks for joining us here on AM Live. Good Morning America is next with the treasure hunter on the run, who's now under arrest.
We'll see you again with more news, traffic, and weather at 7:25.
Stay safe.
All right, let's play the entire B section with the metronome, okay? Here we go.